Last night, Treasurer Josh Frydenberg handed down the 2022 federal budget, and being a pre-election budget, it was a bit of a people pleaser. The main focus was around supporting the increasing cost of living for low to middle income earners through tax offsets, reduced fuel costs, and potentially a one-off payment as well. So today I want to give you just a little summary of what I believe are the important aspects of the budget. Now just remember, a lot of this isn't legislated yet, it needs to pass through Parliament before it becomes law. So let's kick this off with some of the more juicy items. There has been an increase in the low middle income tax offset for the current financial year. So the maximum offset was previously $1,080 and that is increasing by $420 to $1,500. So the amount of offset you're gonna get is gonna depend on your taxable income, as this table shows. And if you don't know what a tax offset is, it simply helps you pay less tax. So in order to get this benefit, you need to lodge your tax return, which means that June 30 for a lot of people out there is a little bit like Christmas Eve, because the next morning you can wake up, lodge your tax return, and if you've paid some tax throughout the years and you're eligible for this offset, you could potentially get a tax refund of up to $1,500. Next, we have the reduction in fuel costs, which is gonna take place immediately. So the government has said that for the next 6 months, they're gonna reduce the fuel excise tax by 50%. If you don't know what the fuel excise is, it's basically just an extra tax on fuel. And the idea is that you pay tax when you fill up your tank, and that money goes towards building new roads and maintaining the existing roads. So the current excise is 44.2 cents per litre, and that is being reduced to 22.1 cents for the next 6 months. Now this is very welcome because we've all seen the fuel memes floating around on social media lately. Next, we have the cost of living payment. If you're currently receiving Social Security benefits, including any of the following, then you're gonna receive a one-off $250 payment. As the name suggests, this is designed to help cover some of the increased costs of living, and it should be paid next month. For all you home buyers out there, you haven't been left out of this budget either, because the government has proposed an extension to the home buyer scheme from 1 July next year. And this is not only going to apply to first home buyers, but it's also going to apply to single parent families and people buying in regional areas. The Home Guarantee Scheme is a way for eligible people to get into a home with a smaller deposit and without incurring lender's mortgage insurance. What basically happens is you put up a minimum of a 5% deposit if you're a first home buyer or regional home buyer, or a 2% deposit if you're a single parent. And the government will guarantee the residual up to 20%, meaning that you get a better array of lenders and you don't pay lender's mortgage insurance. There are 50,000 new spots, of which 35,000 is going to go to the first home buyers, 5,000 is going to go to the single parent families, and 10,000 is going to go to the regional homes. Next up, we have some welcome changes to the paid parental leave scheme. The dad and partner pay scheme will be rolled into the paid parental leave to create a single scheme of up to 20 weeks. Paid parental leave can also be taken anytime within 2 years of the birth or adoption of your child. This means that single parents can get an extra 2 weeks of paid parental leave, and as a couple, you can basically get a bit more flexibility around how you share the scheme. So instead of there being one primary carer, you can both be classified as a primary carer, work part-time, and share the scheme on that basis, which is pretty cool. The eligibility for paid parental leave is income tested, and it will now cater for households with income of up to $350,000. Superannuation was largely left out of this year's budget, which I think is a good thing. The government does tend to tinker a little bit too much with the rules around superannuation, and it means that people don't really understand it because they can't keep up with it and they lose faith in the system, which is a bit of a shame. So they've left it largely out of this budget, but they did say that they're going to extend the halved minimum for pension drawdowns for the next financial year. So if you're drawing a pension from your super, then it's subject to a minimum drawing amount. The minimum was halved temporarily due to COVID, so people can better protect their retirement savings, and the reduced minimum is here to stay for the 2022-23 financial year. There were some measures in the budget this year for businesses as well, which of course I think is awesome because I'm a big supporter of businesses. Starting immediately and ending the 30th of June 2023, businesses with an aggregated turnover of less than 50 million will be able to deduct an extra 20% of the cost incurred on external training courses they provide employees. They will also be able to deduct an extra 20% of the cost of business expenses and depreciating assets that support the business's digital adoption, such as portable payment devices, cybersecurity systems, or subscriptions to cloud-based services. An annual cap of up to $100,000 for eligible expenditure will apply to the latter. So essentially what this means is that you can deduct more than you actually spend, more by 20%, on those costs, which is pretty cool. In the 2022-23 financial year, they've also said that the GDP adjustment will be set at 2%, which is significantly lower than the 10% rate that would have been applied under the statutory formula. So while this does help you pay smaller installments, it doesn't actually reduce the amount of tax that you're going to pay overall. There are also some enhancements coming to the PAYG installment system, single touch payroll, and the lodgement of trust tax returns, but I won't go into those now. So that's really the crux of it. Overall, it's a bit of a crowd-pleasing budget, which we would expect when we're leading into a new federal election pretty shortly. But if you want any more additional information on anything we've discussed today, I'll put a link to the official website in the description box below. Feel free to go and read through that, and obviously reach out if you have any more questions. But thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.